Roll, please.
Mr. Garrett. Mr. Porter. Mr. Bonner. Here. Mr. Spalding.
Here.
Mr. Wade.
Here. This meeting is being recorded by audio tape. Pledge of Allegiance, CPS students.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job, kiddos.
Adoption of the board agenda. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
Second.
Discussion? Roll, please.
Mr. Porter. Mr. Bonner. Mr. Spalding.
Yes.
Mr. Wade.
Yes.
Mr. Garrett.
Yes.
Recognitions and presentations.
Okay, so this is National School Board Member Recognition Month. So I just would like to thank you for your hours of service to our students and to our staff and the support you've provided over the last year, which has been very challenging for a lot of people. You know, we have a lot of great staff that work hard here, and I know that you make yourselves very available to them, and I do appreciate that. So we just have a little, what do you call it? You don't mind coming up to serve vacancy, you are Bill Bonner. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Brian Wade. Thank you very much. Joe Spalding. Sean Porter.
Sam, at the end of the day, collect all these and give them to
And Dwight Garrett. Next up is the STEM presentation, which Justin England will provide that.
All right, so I invited the staff here because I would like the board to kind of hear about our STEM redesignation. This is the second time, but back in November, we were honored with the STEM designation for the state of Ohio for our primary building K2. Super proud. I like to provide wins for our staff and our students and our community as much as I possibly can. This is a huge win for us. What we're able to provide our students is something completely unique that you don't get everywhere else. So it is very enjoyable to stand up here and celebrate the staff. We were able to provide them a catered lunch as a thank you from 7 Mile Smokehouse. They donated the whole thing to us. So that was very nice of them. We were able to do that back in December. But their hard work, their effort that went into this was tremendous. We have to go through a very rigorous rubric. They do an on-site visit. They grade us. That rubric, at one point in time, I looked at how many articles that we submitted, and it was close to 100 pages. So it is very in-depth, rigorous, and all of that kind of goes to our staff. So I want to thank them for that. Nick, can you hit next there on the? I also have some special mentions. These are the staff that fly under the radar as far as what they do for us that nobody ever sees. If you ever go to a concert, they're the people that are in the back moving all the knobs to make the music sound really good. So I just want to give them a special recognition. They, are not there to be very humble, but they work really hard to make things go here. And they provide a lot of support, not just to our staff, but to our students too. So I'm appreciative of them. So I'd actually like to have those 5 ladies come up here: Heather Tarleton, Amber Good, Danielle McDaniel, Jane Sayers, and Megan Yao. They do work, I'm sure the teachers could sit back there and nod their head, that nobody else would want to do. We're in the process of switching our curriculum, and as you know, when you're a STEM designated school, you have some guidelines that you have to follow. And unfortunately, the state of Ohio's education department and the STEM haven't really connected yet, so those ladies have worked tireless hours of switching our curriculum around to fit make sure that it's STEM relatable to what the required content is for the state of Ohio. And actually, shameless plug, they've actually asked us to kind of share what that curriculum has looked like a couple different times, because I'm not sure they know how to merge those two together as well as we have so far. And then one more piece, just some things that sets us apart at Chillicothe Primary as far as the STEM designation that people do not know about. And the kids sitting here could probably tell you even more about it than we can, because every time they talk about it, you say Muddy Boots and Backpacks, you get a smile from this building at all point in time. But some of the things that are different, the classroom studies, they integrated into all subjects, that's including engineering with a strong focus on reading and writing. Everybody thinks STEM is science. Incorporating all of those is a huge part of the studies that we have within our classroom. Muddy Boots and Backpacks, every student twice a year, fall, and we're getting ready to launch our spring piece for that. That's kind of something everybody knows about. We take them out the Buzzards Roost, hands-on, show students how they can use their knowledge in the real world. That's a field study. They're doing field study when they're out there. Voice groups. This is every student every year. Every student, our goal this past year was 100% participation. That's a variety of individualized choices in education. The students, along with their parents and the teachers, kind of pick what they want to learn about. And then our facilitators pull them and work throughout the year with them on that. I just didn't want to put the list up here, but here are some of the ones that we are currently doing as far as voice this year. Around the world, cartography, computer science and culinary arts. Is science art? Is art science? Mini Beast, how do mini beasts make big impacts? Southern Ohio, how might our roots help us stand tall? Earth art, we will leave summer behind and create an art scene that shows how nature cycles into fall. The dirt on decay, where does water go? Water-inspired art. Robots 102, Aeronautics 101, 3D printing 100, 101, and 102. So there's a lot of different opportunities, and that's not the exhaustive list that our students get an opportunity to participate in. And then finally, Adventures in Innovation. This is our engineering curriculum. They do this 10 times a year. Teachers rotate to different classrooms, which is a really neat experience. And they work on our engineering curriculum, and they tie it back to a literacy-based piece. So those are some unique things that we do here that nobody else I know for sure is doing to that extent. So thank you. Thank you again to the staff.
Thank you, Mr. England. Welcome to visitors and public participation. The The board desires citizens of the district to attend its meetings so that they become better acquainted with the operations and programs of the schools, and so the board may have an opportunity to hear the wishes and ideas of the public. All meetings of the board are open to the public and the media. Do we have any requests?
No.
Legislative update?
Thank you. Yes. I'd like to update that since the beginning of the year, the Ohio legislature has 6 issues dealing with education pending, 2 Senate bills, 3 House bills, and 1 Senate committee resolution. I'll just touch on a couple of these, which are probably the more discussed. House Bill 468, which is better known as the Charlie Kirk American Heritage Act. This is legislation that works to preserve the ability for educators to discuss the positive impact of religion on American history, highlighting its consistency with freedom of speech and emphasizing how imperative it is to reduce politically motivated hate and violence in society. Charlie Kirk was a conservative Christian activist that was tragically assassinated last year. The bill reaffirms that teachers in public schools and state institutions of higher education, when teaching American history, can include instructions on the positive impacts of religion on American history. House Bill 468 now heads to the Ohio Senate for further consideration. Senate Committee Resolution 16 is a resolution that urged Congress to dismantle the United States Department of Education. Efforts to dismantle the United States Department of Education have been acted by actions of the Trump administration. Although complete abolishment requires an act of Congress, the plan involves returning control over education to the states. Executive action to facilitate ED's closure started in March of 25. In July of 25, the Supreme Court upheld mass layoffs, which halved the department's staff. The ED is a cabinet-level department created in 1979. Rationale for its dismantling: it will break up the federal education bureaucracy and return education to the states, leading to more efficient use of funds. Contending education is primarily a state and local responsibility. Concerns of this dismantlement: potential for disruption of billions of dollars in federal funding from K through 12 and higher education programs such as Title I for low-income students and Pell Grants. It is opposed by education unions and civil rights advocates. The process continues to evolve with legal challenges ongoing and the full impact on students and the education system remaining a subject of significant debate. So that kind of is a nutshell of 2 of the more important issues that are pending in the Ohio legislature. If anyone wants more information on any of the other items that are pending, please contact me and I'll gladly go over them with you. I don't think it would be appropriate to go over every item right here for time constraint. So thank you. And like I say, if anyone has any questions about this or any of these items, please, feel free to contact me.
Thank you. Big Way Ross update? Anybody got anything?
Not currently, no.
Student liaison report.
Okay, our winter sports season are winding down and our spring sports season is starting up. We have boys wrestling and sectionals this Saturday. Our boys basketball team plays tomorrow against Sheridan at home. Boys and girls swim team season just came to an end at the district meet last Friday. And then our theater program is putting on the play Tarzan, the musical Tarzan, March 13th and 15th. And then tomorrow, our juniors are taking the ACT, our sophomores are taking the grit assessment, and freshmen and seniors are job shadowing.
Thank you. Board action recommendation to the Board of Education to implement a reduction in force for the 26-27 school year. Motion on that?
Motion.
Discussion? Roll, please.
Mr. Spalding,
Yes.
Mr. Wade,
Yes.
Mr. Garrett,
Abstain.
Mr. Porter, Mr. Bonner.
Yes.
Treasury reports and recommendations?
Yeah, I'd like to recommend A through D or A through E. I do have a presentation to give for the 5-year forecast. If you'd like me to do that before we move, or if you want to do move in second first.
Yeah, let's take a motion, or do I have a motion on that?
I recommend A through E then, yeah.
So moved.
Second.
All right, discussion? We'll turn that over to Nick.
Who was the second? Sorry. All right. Very unfortunately inconvenient for you guys. The presentation's behind you. So I prepared a presentation that supplements my forecast that I have presented. So the forecast is something that we do 2 times a year. Requirements are now in October and February. So none of you guys are really new to this. Mr. Gary might be new to this. However, in your past experience, you've probably seen this a couple times. Other than that, I've also attached a supplement to the notes that I'll be submitting to ODE, which contains a lot of this information I'll be sharing today. So essentially kind of what I want to do is hit the main driving factors of a financial forecast, the things that this district faces, and the potential things that could be coming down the road. But so if we look at the current fiscal year, the projected loss for the year is approximately $1,500,000. So that $1,500,000 shows up again here down in the revenue surplus or deficit. The main important part of this that I wanted to point out was the declining revenue. It can't keep up with the continued level of service that we're providing. Inflation is just not allowing that. So speaking of inflation, our annual change in revenue historically has been under 1% between 22 and 25. It's projected 26 through 30 to be 0.24% annual increase in revenue. The reason why our expenditures will have to, our expenditures have historically been about 3%, which is standard with inflationary growth. Even with the reduction plan that has been approved by the board, we're looking at about 1.35% annual change in expenditures over the life of the forecast. And so, which is greater than our annual revenue change. So school districts are comprised of 2 main sources of revenue, your local taxes and your state sources. About 93% of Chillicothe's overall revenue is comprised in those 2 categories. So this is kind of to show you that what the general property tax collections look like, what it's looked like in the past and what it looks like for the future. We are permitted growth under the new House bill. The GDP deflator is what they like to call it. 2026 is not being affected, and that's why you see that sharp growth from 25 to 26. However, that limiter comes in 27 and beyond, and tax credits do play a factor. And that's why you see the reduction in revenue from 26 to 27. Our enrollment's pretty, fairly, in this graph, it looks fairly stable. There is a slight decline. Compared to the state of Ohio, this district is doing better than the averages in the state of Ohio. So the reason why it's important to understand state revenue is why there's a disconnect with property tax reform. As you guys may be aware, there was about a 30% reappraisal update that the auditor had released. The state is saying that we can only collect about 13% this year. And so we're not going to realize revenue of about 17% of what we would have otherwise seen if the legislation had continued out into the future. So it's limiting our growth in that area. And why there's a disconnect is because we're formula funded. That full 30% is working its way through the formula, which is limiting or which is decreasing our growth in the state funding side, but it's also decreasing our collections on the property tax side. So we're getting hit in both areas. And what happens to a district like us is as local capacity increases, the state share decreases. And so if you see that black bar, the purple is what base cost is. Our base cost is about $8,000, $8,102 actually. And so that's what the state says we should be able to provide based on their metrics, what we should be able to provide in instructional materials to our kids, $8,102 per pupil. We know that's not the case. We know it's a lot more than $8,102. So that black bar that goes through the purple continues to increase, which is our district taxpayer per pupil portion. And the orange bar that goes through the purple continues to decrease, which is the state shares. And so there's a big overlap there. The state is contributing less per kid. And so it's been able to be masked. Unfortunately, it's been able to be masked because there's phase-ins. This fair school funding formula was supposed to be slowly phased in whenever it was adopted. And so the last phase-in is fiscal year 27. And so if you look there, fiscal year 27 is the last year of, it's actually a decrease. Our last year of growth was fiscal year 26, which is the current year. Fiscal year 27, we are very similar to fiscal year 26, but then there's that sharp decline moving out into the future from what we're going to be receiving from the state, and that's just not sustainable. So that's the main revenue overview. For the expenditure side of things, most of you guys are aware, our biggest portion of expenditures is personnel costs, about 80% of our overall general fund expenditures. And so we incorporated the financial recovery plan that we've discussed for a long time now. And so this kind of gives you what areas of the forecast will be impacted and how much will be impacted. And I laid out in front of you guys the detailed information on that plan that has been discussed. So I kind of want to leave you off with this. The red is the forecast submission. From 26 to 27, you can see some sustainability due to the plan. We're still having a cash balance in 28. However, it does require more reductions moving out into the future if legislation stays the same. Now, I also wanted to throw in there what happens if the state does the right thing, or what happens if the income tax levy in May passes. And so the blue and green bar will show you what those effects are. And as you can see with those two, we're a lot more sustainable moving out to the future. It gives us more time, but out into 29 to 30, we are still possibly facing further reductions, but as you know, it can be treated differently than the current. But that's all I have for you. Wanted to keep it brief. Obviously, if anyone has questions, whether it's the board or anyone out there in the community, I'm always, open to have discussions and or give me a call and we can set up an appointment. So that's my brief overview of the forecast. I don't want to get too much into it, but if you guys have any questions now, I'm happy to answer. If not, we can discuss it, any time after today.
Any other discussion? Roll, please.
Mr. Spalding,
Yes.
Mr. Wade,
Yes.
Mr. Garrett,
Yes.
Mr. Porter, Mr. Bonner.
Yes.
Superintendent recommendations?
I'd like to recommend A through G. You'll see Carly's resignation on there. She's secured a new job. I just would like to thank her for all that she's done to help us be better prepared for public relations and social media. And even in her departure, she's got us pretty well set up to continue a lot of the things that she's done for us.
A motion on that?
Motion.
Discussion? Roll, please.
Mr. Garrett,
Yes.
Mr. Porter, Mr. Bonner,
Yes.
Mr. Spalding,
Yes.
Mr. Wade.
Yes. Discussion and informational items? Board member comments?
Yeah, there's quickly, did we skip over the refreshments? There's like cookies and stuff back there. Were we supposed to have those? I mean, I hate to pass up a good cookie.
Yeah,
So
we'll do that afterwards. That wasn't in here and I
so
totally missed it. I
when this is
apologize.
over, I'll be back by the cookies if anybody wants to discuss anything.
Good luck to our sports team still, winter sports still going on. What was that? Theater. The theater, the play coming up. Good luck to everybody involved in that. And Mr. Byrd, thank you, sir. And that's all I got. Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all.
Do have some refreshments.